glorify you, Jesus. Magnify you, Lord. You're worthy of the glory, Lord.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Last week, we concluded with the fact that as the Feast of Tabernacles starts, for you to position yourself uprightly so that you are properly prepared for the place that you've been destined for, and so that you pray uprightly. And starting of the Feast of Tabernacles last Sunday, what that actually was doing was preparing you for a journey. And the first journey that you take before you take any journey is a journey in your emotions. Because you start trying to think through and think about and figure out and plan for and adjust for and go to and try to get to all of those things before you've even taken your first step. So that causes your emotions to go nuts. And especially since you haven't seen very clear sunshine and been closed in because of the rain and adjusting for the rain and all of those things because it's raining, it's caused your mentality to actually start to feel like it's on a decline. That's normal. It's all a part of the process. The reason it's a part of the process is because sometimes you don't pay close enough to your emotions. So you'll start doing stuff because you're happy. And you'll start making decisions because they feel good. And you won't think them through. And it causes you to end up being in a position of reaction instead of proaction. So the reason that you had to go through that fluctuation was so that you could tone down and start to listen better. Because once you've toned down, now you start zeroing in trying to help yourself feel better. Sometimes the decisions that he's walking you into and the direction that he's taking you, if you look at it in a feel-good place, it won't feel good, because you're going to start looking at what you're giving up instead of what you're gaining. Because your mindset has been, you have been looking at the wrong supply source. That's where the issue's been. When you are looking at the wrong supply source, and here's what I want you to understand. It's not even that the supply source is bad. Because sometimes he still has you on the same source that he initially gave you. For instance, he'll grant you a job. But during that process of you being on that job, you start seeing the job as your source instead of him. So, in order to get you thinking right, turmoil comes on the job. Once the turmoil comes in, now what he's trying to do is he's trying to get you to the point to say, okay, will you listen to me now? Can you hear me now? So once again, it's not that the thing that you were even looking at as a supply was a bad thing. It was just he wanted you looking at him instead of looking at the thing that he gave you. So that's happened in relationships. That's happened with your money. That's happened with your health. That's happened with all of those things, because he's saying, I need you to back up for a little bit. Slow down and see me as your supplier and source as you move forward. Because truth be told, if you're feeling good and your bank account's good and the relationships are good, you ain't looking at him. You ain't looking at him nowhere near like you should be. See, that's one of the reasons why the branches were to be cut off this week as well. Because that was a reminder to keep you rejoicing in him every day. So that you had something as a reminder to say, okay, I got to do something extra today. It's not that it was difficult. It's not that it was hard. It's not that it was a problem. It was so that you were making a conscious effort to say, I got something extra to do, and it's for him. It's for what he's put in place. Now, one of the things that we stated last week also was the fact that the feast of this season sets us up by having us to blow our trumpet, then afflict our soul, so that we're ready to make our move. So that's why I said a lot of times your emotions have to be put in check. So he will allow things to throw you off. Because it ain't nothing like being sick when you don't want to be sick. You start doing everything you can to get rid of that. Right. Because you don't like it. Because it doesn't fit your plan well. Right. And what he's trying to show you is slow your plan down. So slow the plan down. It might even be the plan that he gave you, but you're trying to run it too fast, so slow it down. Pump your brakes. Now, when you're in the Feast of Tabernacles, what he's trying to show you is he's saying, go at the pace that I give you. Because there's some stuff that slowed down, and there's some stuff that took off. And what he's trying to put in place is he's trying to show you how to hear him no matter which one it's doing. That's what the issue is. Because once again, it's one or the other. Usually we're one or the other. When it's going fast, we're like, Lord, hey, this is going kind of fast. What do you want me to do? When it's going slow, we're saying, Lord, we can't speed this thing up. I'm ready for this. So what he's trying to show you is to do it on both ends. If it's going slow, say, Lord, I thank you for it going slow, but now show me what I need to do while it's going slow. Because he's got it going slow so that there's some stuff that you can get taken care of before it starts going fast. Because once it starts going fast, you're not going to have time to take care of the things that you should have taken care of while it was slow. Does that make sense? That's why he gives us the time and season to grow children. Because once they grow up, there's a pocket of time that it's going to seem like you won't get a break. That's what it's going to appear like. It's going to appear like you won't have any kind of break. So he's saying, don't be trying to rush them into nothing now. They ain't not going to grow any faster. I got them set on a specific time frame. Just like he's got us on a specific time frame. So understand this. Because that pattern that I showed you about blowing our trumpet, then afflicting our soul so that we're ready to make our move, that pattern is crucial because you never want to make a move unless you're sure about the move before you take the first step. Because you've gotten in enough trouble already taking off on stuff before you understood whether or not that was even the right direction for you to be taking off. It looked good. It sounded good. You're gone. Didn't ask. Didn't seek. Didn't do any of that. Just looks good. And see, I had an old Asian friend when I used to work at Quality Industries that every time he got done with the job that we got done, he'd say, looks good, lasts a long time. He'd say that after every one. He'd say, looks good, lasts no time. But if he gave it the thumbs down, it was going to get scrapped. Those are things that you have to understand that he's saying, before you make a move, ask me. Whether even if it feels great, if it looks great, even if it seems right, seems like the exact thing, ask me anyway. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he'll direct your path. But see, sometimes what we do is we're like, man, that's good. We just roll with that. And he's saying, okay, so you're not going to acknowledge me?